Hey everybody. So today I thought I would do a quick sketchbook tour. And these are some of my summer sketchbooks. This one is not really a sketchbook, it's more of an art journal that I started I think back in 2019, I think. But then I forgot about it. So it's kind of quite full and then I didn't do any more. But this one is quite in depth. So I'll show you a quick look into this one, but if you want a closer look at all of these, I'll have to do a separate video, so just let me know in the comments. So these are the 4 sketchbooks that I have on the go currently. Well, 3 plus this journal. So we'll start with this journal and just have a look. Now this was literally just, I think I started this during the lockdowns, so I must have started this. Did I put a date on it in 2020? Maybe I started it 2020, I can't remember. But it was just when I was starting getting back into art again, and it was Christmas, and I was just using up scraps of paper, and I thought I'll just start making like a journal, diary, record of daily life, using up the scraps of paper that I might have used during that day. So this is obviously stuff that I had come across that day, and I literally just made little records, notes of what happened that day, and I'd obviously used some envelopes up that day. It was a magical day. Did some Christmas cards. It was 14th of December 2020, so that's when I started this. So yeah, during a lockdown, cups of tea. I did some painting, obviously, because I was using up watercolours. I probably watched, looking at this, I watched Harry Potter, because there's Hogwarts. Always. Harry's glasses, yeah, Harry Potter day. Winter walk, secret garden, art. So I was just using up scraps of the day, doing collage. There's a little cat there. Don't know where I found that. Painting for love and joy. Lovely walk today with a friend. Plans for an arty future. I haven't looked in this book for a while, so it's actually really interesting to come down. Lockdown's looming. So we obviously hadn't gone into, obviously another lockdown was obviously on the horizon. I was working. Moonlight shines so bright. It's really nice sometimes to look back on these records, because when you write a diary, you have to read it. But when you're looking back at an art journal, you can just see straight away what was going on, as well as some reading. Happy solstice. So we'll just have a quick look through these, and you can see I was literally just playing and making notes of what I'd seen. I'd obviously been to a park and seen some herons that day. I saw a shooting star this day, apparently. Venus in the sky. Mindful movements, getting nearer Christmas. It was obviously Christmas coming up soon. There's lots of wrapping paper things here that I've used. New Year's resolutions. Christmas chocolate coin. Obviously had some glitter for Christmas. Foggy day, apparently. And anyway, so I'll give an more in-depth look through that one if you'd like to see that in more detail, because it is quite detailed and it's actually, looking at it, quite beautiful in places. So that's one. Now this one was a sketchbook that I started when I was doing art in school in July 1990. And this, I think, was obviously part of my A-level because it was received as a submission. So obviously had more work in it, but I think some of it got taken out. And this was a sketch. This was actually the sketch I did in a park that became one of my A-level pieces. Another little sketch. little sketch of a piece that I think I did for my mum when I was a teenager. I think I must have invented this one because I remember sketching it from life. Same with this one. Which was some fish tank that I used to have. Not sure what this one is. General sketching. See, the thing is with a sketchbook is you can put anything in it. It doesn't have to be a piece full of beautiful finished paintings. You can literally put your thoughts in, sketches, notes, anything you like, which is exactly what is in these and all of my sketchbooks. The twisted tree lives its life while the straight tree ends up in planks. And it's interesting that this tree is here because I've painted this tree again since. So I must have used the same reference. I think this one was painted with coffee. And this one was walnut ink. This one was a sketch of a tree outside somewhere. I took a little bottle of walnut ink sketching. And sometimes sketching is just this. It's just mark making and quick records. It doesn't have to be beautiful finished pieces. Quick charcoal sketching. More paintings. This, I remember that tree. Some rocks. This was, I remember, I had a paint making day and these were just leftovers on the palette knife and on the glass from when I was mixing watercolours, and I just put them all onto this paper as a record of the colours. And I actually love this. It's pretty beautiful. It's textured as well. Not much else in there, I don't think. And that was swatches of all the colours that I made. And a little picture of some rocks which are near me. That's that for that book. Now this one I tend to use because it's such a beautiful eco print cover. I tend to use this for specific natural things. So this one was my first test of my handmade oak gore link, which I believe I have a video of if you just have a look through. I'll put a link. So this was my oak gore link mixed with the iron solution, and this is the ink natural, and this colour is a little bit of the iron solution itself. Now this one I wanted to keep some of the beautiful autumn leaves and wanted to keep their colours, so I stuck them in here and just did a little collage with the actual leaves. And the same for this one. I just wanted to keep the leaves. So I just glued them in, and this is some of the natural watercolour pigment around it. This one, I did a video of these. These were my test swatches using the natural pigments with various resists, wax resist, latex. And I just wanted to test whether the walnut ink would work with the watercolours, which it did pretty well. A little sketch I did out of my window with the natural watercolours a while ago. And another test of the oak gore link with some actual leaves stitched onto a piece of eco print. And that is all that is in that sketchbook, I believe, so far. And this one is my biggest sketchbook, and I use this for all sorts. So I do actually have sketches in there that I do out of my bedroom window sometimes. These trees are literally out of my window. This one, that is literally just ink tests. This is an ink test over natural pigment, just to see if the oak gore ink would paint over natural watercolour, and it did pretty well. Again, just little 5-minute tests. These are just 2 trees that came to me one day while I was working with my quill and ink, and I just decided to, sometimes tree spirits just come to me, and there they are. Particularly love this one. This one's got quite a cheeky face, curious face. Little watercolour sketch scene that I did with a friend one day from her place. And this was my original sketch for my Christmas cards for last year. And this one. I'll box in the snow. There's some eco prints that I did recently that I've just put in there to keep them safe. These are some of another video that I think I did. More tests of various watercolours over inks, and all very quick sketches. This one, I really love the red hematite over the oak wall ink. It's really, really dramatic. And this one over the inks, the watercolours, is nice. And this one was a little charcoal sketch that I did, because I found a charcoal set in a charity shop for a couple of quid. So this was my first go at using it. And this was the tree collage that I did a video of. This was a sketch that I did in an event recently. I was just sketching the window with some charcoal whilst it was quite a long day, so sometimes you just want something to do. Same with this one, a little bit more dramatic and chaotic, as the more and more people, I was trying to draw people as they were sitting and walking past. This was something that I've had stuck on my wall for ages, so I just stuck it in my sketchbook. This one, I actually cut my finger, and I wanted to see what would happen to what colour the blood would turn to after a while, because blood obviously is essentially iron oxide, same as, well, not the same, but it's iron and oxygen, so it's a very similar colour to ochre. And it's actually held its colour pretty well so far, and it was left out for quite a while. So June 2023, so it's only been a month. I'll just keep my eye on that, see how dark it goes and over how long. Not that I'm intending on painting with blood, it's just out of interest. And this one was mushroom inks, and I peeled some mushrooms one day and I decided to use the peelings to make an ink with. And the ink smelled amazing actually. And this was the test. The ink itself didn't actually last very long, because I just had salt with it. I didn't put any essential oils in it, so it moulded after about 2 weeks. So I had to throw it away, but this was the colour that I got, and I mixed some salt and some soot ink that I'd made just to see how they would work together. And the colours held quite a while so far. I put a date on it just so that I can look back and see how long ago it was. And this was a charcoal ink sketch that I made, soot sketch, just to see how well I did that with a feather, just to see how easy that would work. And I did this in literally a couple of minutes, and it was a really lovely ink to work with, especially with a feather. I really liked how it pulled and flowed. So it's really good just to do these things, and sometimes I don't always have my sketchbook with me, so I sketch it on another piece of paper and then stick it into my sketchbook. So the sketchbook is literally a record. And these are some of the latest eco prints that I've done. That one I quite enjoyed. These ones didn't come out quite so well, but these ones were literally just on packaging paper, so I didn't expect too much for them. But I have made some nice cards out of some of them, but because they've got packaging marks on them, I can't really use them, so I put them in my sketchbook. And that, I think, is all that is in there so far. So thank you very much for joining me today, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.